Can you hear us?
All right, it says we are live now, so I'm going to call the meeting to order at 6:04 on Thursday, July 30th. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place, this meeting of the Economic Development Committee will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and/or parties with a right and/or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the Town of Southborough's website at www.southboroughtown.com. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to watch or participate in the meeting may do so in the following manner: by finding the meeting at www.southboroughtown.com/remote meetings. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort make sure to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on Southborough's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Bah. Done. I'm starting to get better at that. I used to always stumble on participation. But anyway, okay, so real quick, on the agenda for tonight's, hang on. I called to order Vice Chair report. So first thing, you guys all saw my emails about using town emails. So we can CC our regular emails. We can, if you send out an email from your regular one, as long as you CC your town email, we're all in compliance with that. They're trying to get everybody to do it. If anybody's having a problem using their town email, Tom is having a webinar that can help you with it. So if anybody's having an issue with using their town one, let me know and we can get that squared away with you. So that was the first thing. So the grant, I was just saying earlier, the grant money that we got in, I talked to Marika a little bit today. She might jump in and say something more, but it's going a little slower than anticipated on the criteria to meet it, the application process and such like that. Over 16 businesses to date have already inquired about it, local businesses about trying to get it. Everybody I've talked to is thrilled and are so happy that we did that. Moving on, the next thing, I spoke with Vanessa about a recording secretary yesterday again. She was on vacation and got back to me last week, which is amazing. So I spoke with her today, and we were talking about rates, and the Board of Selectmen pay $150 for a meeting, and we're about half of that. So we set a rate that we're gonna put out there at about $75. She had some employees that were looking to do that for, so $75 a meeting. Once she reaches out to some people and they get back to us, I'm not sure if we have to vote on accepting that person or not. I'll find out more on that. I watched the Board of Selectmen meeting on Tuesday, and they were talking about their plans and goals moving forward, and their priorities are trying to get all the committees more open and transparent, and they're working on getting all the policies and procedures in one place, which will be great. I'm gonna meet with Marika and I believe Lisa and possibly you, Julian. I don't know if anybody else next week, going over policy and procedures that for open meeting. Don't feel like we're being singled out. We're not. Other committees are doing the same thing. I saw on agendas, just so everybody knows, like last week when we had to retake our vote on that VMUD 3 thing, they had to do the same thing on another committee. Was on their agenda today. So we're not being singled out by anybody or any of that. So that'll be handy. I know they want to give us all the tools we need to be successful. So that is it for my vice chair report. I'm trying to make this, like I said, as quick as humanly possible. The village mixed use update, which is the next thing on the agenda. I believe the contract has been signed. And
maybe John, do you want me to give a quick update on that?
Yes, please. I would appreciate that very much.
Yes, so the contract was signed with Judy Barrett to assist us with technical planning work. We had a meeting with Judy, what day was it? Earlier this week on Tuesday, together with Julie was there, Claire was there, of course, and together with Karina, the town planner, and Sarah, her assistant. Which was great to just kind of go over what we've been doing so far. And Judy said she would get started and get something back to us within the next, maybe after 10 days. She was planning to speak with Adam Costa as well, to just kind of hear from him what he's been, what work he's been doing on the zoning article. And after that, she mentioned she would also like to meet with the planning board to see where they stand. So right now, I think we just let her do her work and wait till she comes back with something, and we can discuss that in the committee.
Any questions on that or anything? Anybody? Nope. Okay, great. Thank you, Marika. So when do you think we may see something from her in the next couple of weeks?
Probably, she said in about 10 days. So
Perfect.
can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, in about 10 days. So I guess when maybe I'll schedule a meeting, another EDC meeting, not next week, but the week after, and then I'll give you the next update.
That sounds great. And that'll work out perfect because hopefully at that point too, with the same update, maybe I can have some, I asked one quick thing I want to put in. I talked to Chelsea and Lisa, and I asked if they could kind of give me 5 bullet points of what they would like to see committees make sure they're taken care of for the policy procedures for open meeting law and stuff like that. So it'll be easy things like 1, using the emails, 2, when we post our agenda moving forward, if we have any files to look at or anything to go over, we're going to post those at the same time, things like that. So hopefully I have some more of a guide in writing, because I spent 2 hours last night looking. I downloaded the Attorney General's open meeting laws as well as the frequently asked questions, and now I have more questions than I started with. So anyway, so that'll work. Now everybody got the RFP for the wastewater study? Anybody have time to look at it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, myself included. So we need to take a vote on that, or whether we want to send that off to Mark for review to go out. So can I get a motion to send out the RFP as written from someone?
I so move. Chris
Okay.
Robbins.
All right. Do I have a motion from Mr. Robbins? Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Conley. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor. We're going to do a roll call vote. I'm just going to do it as I see it on my screen. Mr. Robbins,
Yes.
Ms. Duca,
Yes.
Ms. Connolly,
Yes.
and myself, John Wood. Aye. So the motion's unanimous, and we will get that off. Zipping along. So now the other thing, we just got to vote on approval of minutes from July 16th and 23rd. I have a couple of just procedural things that maybe we might want to add into it. On like last week, we had an attendee of Mr. Stivers. So on the EDC members present, EMC coordinator, I'd like to have attendees and put Mr. Stivers was there. And I think he was the only one. And on the 16th, it was the same thing. And then when we have our votes, I think we should add by roll call, just because when you do the remote participation on the video, I think it has to be documented that as a roll call vote. So those are my only edits. So
Yeah, noted. I'll make those changes.
do I have a motion to, does anybody else have any changes that they saw or might want to make? Does anybody want to make a motion to accept the minutes with those changes?
So moved.
Ms. Collins, thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Duca. Roll call vote again. Mr. Robbins,
Yes.
Ms. Duca,
Yes.
Ms. Conley,
Yes.
and myself, aye, John Wood. So motion passes unanimously by roll call vote for the 23rd and the 16th. What do I got left on this? We are flying through this, guys. Thank you. New business. That was pretty much it. Like I said, this was just a quick one to get the RFP out. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about or put on the next agenda? Or any new business?
On the next agenda, I'll give an update on the master plan committee. There's not a ton to report on right now, but I'm happy to make that an agenda item.
Noted.
Is that a standing agenda item? So that way, if you ever have an update, you can, or you can just say, I've got nothing to share at this time.
Mhm.
Okay.
Julie, thanks for being a part of that planning activity.
Really.
That's a lot. And having you there means a lot.
Thank you.
It's making a difference because you know what you're doing and
Absolutely.
it's added value. We're lucky to have you.
Chris.
Anybody else have anything they want on the agenda besides that? Perfect. All right. Any public comment? Who's attending? Mr. Stivers, do you have anything? I don't see his hand raised, so I don't think there's anything. No comments from Mr. Stivers. Thank you. And I think that's everything. That's got to be a record. We did that in 7 minutes, people. Thank you. And if that's everything, we've got our votes taken. The RFP will go to Mr. Purple. And then once it comes back, again, I'll follow up with Vanessa about the minute taker. Again, if anybody knows anybody that wants to make some money taking the minutes, it's not only to the town employees. I think they prefer it not be a town employee. So if you know anybody, appreciate it until we can get the senior workout person in. And if
Is
that's,
that something we could like put out on our social media platforms that we're looking for someone, or are we not allowed to do that because it's a?
you know what? Let me find out. But that's a good action item for me.
Just because, yeah, if Marika can put it on the Facebook page or even put it in the, like there's a Southborough Facebook group. I don't know if, people might be out of work or reduced schedule right now, that might just be a good way to reach people.
Yeah, absolutely. Also,
I want to make sure we're allowed to do it that way.
if anybody, like, I want to really get out there that grant that we got, that micro grant, to any of their buddy's social media. I've reached out to a bunch of businesses to let them know, and they didn't know. I even let people, like friends of mine that have small businesses in the other towns like Ashland and Holliston, that didn't know about it because it's just not as advertised as we are. I mean, we're
Well,
doing
one way, if I may, one way to do that is you can get from the assessor's office, or maybe it's Jim Haggerty, gum labels of all the businesses in town. And we could send out a postcard. I don't know if we have everybody's email address, but that's another venue where there should be maybe a flyer that's posted on the town website, or ask Beth Mello to repost it on her site and also get the article about it out to the community advocate.
It was in the Metro West Daily. I saw that, and I believe it is going into the Community Advocate as well, but I will confirm that.
So just wanted to say that, most businesses that have reached out to me actually read it from the My Southborough blog. It is posted on the Facebook page. It's also posted on our EDC website. And in addition, I do plan to reach out to all those companies that we had earlier selected that we thought might be eligible. Because again, this is like for smaller businesses. So I'll be reaching out to them actively, either calling them or visiting them or emailing them if I have email addresses. Just to make sure.
Marika, is there a deadline for getting applications in?
No, there's no deadline yet. Like John said earlier, currently we're awaiting some questions we had from the state and even Mass Capital Growth or Mass Growth Capital Corporation, who's doing the application, who's making the applications. They don't think they'll be ready before end of August or early September. So I just heard that. So right now people cannot apply. But I'm posting updates on the website as I get information. And at the same time, I'm actively emailing those updates to the companies that have reached out from whom I have contact details.
If I may, Sam, I think it would be helpful if your Board of Selectmen's meeting, give it a little promotion if you have an opportunity.
I'll email them as well. Just, that's a good idea. And you know what, maybe I'll see if I can get on the next planning board meeting to update them as well. Maybe that can get it out. So, awesome. Anything else? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
I expected people to jump a lot faster on that one. Do I second?
Second.
All right, all in favor, roll call vote. Mr. Robbins,
Yes.
Ms. Duca,
Yes.
Ms. Conley,
Yes.
and myself, yes. And thank you, everybody. I'm sorry that we're having so many meetings, but at least I'm trying to make them expedited and quick. But once
Yeah,
I
no,
figure out what we need to do and a little bit better,
Nope, this is fine.
moving forward, we'll
John,
be
you're
able to have
doing
them
a
just
great
once in a while.
job. Thank you.
You are, John. Thank you.
I'm stumbling through, but I'm learning. I used to always struggle with the word participation, and my kids would